This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 train. The next stop is Wall Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Not Your Advisor with NYU Grad on Tuesday, October 29th. I have a ton of charts today, a ton of content. So let's jump right into the session. I want to start with the indices because it does tell a story today, and then I'll go into breadth. So volume has been tepid since the summer, especially after September 18th and the FOMC rate decision meeting. The Dow closed down 154 points today. The NASDAQ was the strongest. It was up almost 1%, 0.75% was the close price, up 145 points. The S&P had a little bit of a sell-off toward the end. It still closed green, but closed off of its highs, was only up 9.4. When you take a look at new highs versus new lows, we had 339 versus 168. 41% of stocks were advancing versus 56% declining today. 46% of stocks were below its 50-day moving average, and 36% of stocks were below the 200-day moving average today on the NYSE. All of the Mag 7 except for Tesla was green today. Microsoft was up 1.25%. Apple was up marginally, up 0.12%. Google was up 1.6%. Meta was up 2.6%. Amazon 1.29%. And Nvidia up about 0.5%. If you take a look at the sector groups, communication services was up 1.4%, and technology was up a little bit over 1%. Every other sector was red for the day. Now, one of the things that stuck out, obviously like a sore thumb, is this small cap company called Lightbridge, ticker symbol LTBR. At the peak of the session, it was up 52% on the session. This stock was noted in my previous post of nuclear-powered AI stocks, or stocks that were trying to power the AI boom through micro reactors. Lightbridge is proposing a new version of plutonium that's cleaner and more efficient. And it hasn't been approved yet, but this thing has been on a tear, highly volatile. I'm not recommending you buy this. I'm just pointing it out that it's insane action. It reminds me of GameStop, just Eiffel Tower move type action. I would not be surprised if you find Lightbridge up like today 50% and down 50% in another day. I'll post in the show notes a interview with their CEO. It was on Schwab Network TV on YouTube. I want to reiterate, they have zero revenue, zero sales. They have some cash in the bank. They're not profitable. Their net income is like negative $8 million per year. There's no reason for this to be up 50 to 35%. But I'm just kind of throwing this out there, how crazy the markets are right now. Another thing that I saw on Bloomberg, it was an interview last week by Bloomberg interviewing the CIO of Muddy Waters Capital. He's actually the founder, Carson Block. I think his claim to fame is on the short side, but he's basically saying close your eyes and buy U.S. stocks. And while I don't agree with closing your eyes and buying, I do agree with what he's alluding to, that this is all just a liquidity pump through passive investors via ETFs, 401k plans, employee stock purchase plans in the Mag 7. The Mag 7 is driving this entire market right now, and I've been pointing this out. I'll post the interview, but it's fairly bullish take on how he sees this passive investing inflow of funds and liquidity. I think it's time to be very cautious versus being reckless. And I still advise to stay in safety stocks and safety asset classes. It doesn't have to be stocks. I think right now everyone is running to try to get and chase alpha and try to get gains here at the end of the year. And it's a very dangerous game, especially heading into the elections next week in the US. Now, as you know, I try to stay away from politics because it gets nutty. But I'm curious more in context of direction. I'm going to post a poll, and keep in mind this is open globally to both paying and free subscribers and readers. Now, my question to you is, who do you think will be the next U.S. president? Not who you want to win. There's a big difference. Who do you think is the most likely next U.S. president? The options are Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. The outcome disputed, and some type of new elections need to be done in 2025. Or you're just here for poll results, just kind of looking to see how other people think about this. And I'm not asking for your political views. I'm just curious who you think will ultimately win this race. And just keep in mind, let's be civil in comments, etc. But it's just a directional poll. And for your FYI, 15% of my subscribers are from California, 10% are from New York, 9% from Texas, 8% in Florida, and 5% in Illinois. That's just a percentage breakdown for U.S. subscribers. Obviously, the podcast and Substack is read in over 120 countries. So I'm curious what people think. I will vote myself as well. Keep in mind, this is fully anonymous. I have no access to how individuals voted on this poll. So have fun with that. Let's keep peeling this onion here. So I mentioned the sector performance after I went through the breadth numbers, but what stuck out to me was the volume came in at the end of the day, and when volume comes back, it's selling. When there's no volume, we drift higher or drift sideways. So that's not the most healthiest dynamic. But we had a lot of green and a lot of red on both ends for the S&P 500. I'll try to walk through some of this in rapid fire fashion. So in the S&P 500, on the green side, in percentage gain, you had Monolithic Power 4.8%, Corning 4.7%, AMD 4.3%, Broadcom 4.4%, KLAC Corp 4.04%, Lam Research 3.7%, Meta 3.5%, On Semiconductor 3.49%, Electronic Arts 3.3%, News Corp 3.29%, SMCI 3.29%, Delta Airlines 3.2%, Royal Caribbean 3.28%, GE Vernova 3.3%, Stryker 3.2%, CrowdStrike 3.1%, Applied Materials 2.7%, Molina Healthcare 2.6%. So a lot of green. On the NASDAQ 100, I'll try to dedupe here. Google up 5.9%. Let's see. These are all duplicative. All right, moving on to the red. What was weak on the S&P? Corvo down 14%. DaVita Healthcare 9.5%. Stanley Black & Decker 8.7%. First Solar 8.6%. Ford Motor down 8.1%, Chipotle down 8.09%, DR Horton off earnings down 7.4%. Off the lows, they were down like 12%. Initially, Builders FirstSource down 7%, Caesars Entertainment down 6%, PayPal down 4.5% after trying to break out, Phillips 66 down 4.3%, American Tower 4.1%, NextEra Energy down 3.95%, Marathon Petroleum down 3.8%, SBA Communications down 3.4%, Brown Forman 3.3%, Valero Energy 3.3%, Pulte Group, Home Builder 3.2, Tapestry 3.1, Eversource Energy 2.9, and the list keeps going. So we had equal representation for both positive and negative shares today. For free members, continue to watch the forest and not the trees. There's a slew of earnings. You want to be a hawkeye with the 10-year and the 2-year bond yields. And I will see you all after the Wednesday session. Premium members, please stay on. I have about 30 charts to walk through today with you. That's my train.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.